Okay, I'm going to name some words and you tell me what they all have in common, okay?
All right, let's go.
Oatmeal, salmonella, recall, class action lawsuit. Ding, ding, ding. If you said Quaker Oats, you would be winning.
Wow. Okay. I didn't. I mean, obviously I didn't, but like also,
Why?
okay, cool. Let's what?
What? Yeah, yeah. So Quaker Oats has agreed to pay $6.75 million for a class action lawsuit settlement to resolve claims that it deceptively marketed certain products as safe despite the risk of a salmonella contamination. What? First off, I'm thinking like raw chicken next to my oatmeal. That was my first thought. So apparently, the Quaker Oats settlement benefits consumers who purchase certain Quaker Oats products that were recalled from December 2023 to January 2024. So you had to have bought them in those 2 months.
Okay.
And it was specifically because that's when they did the recall for the risk of salmonella contamination.
Okay.
Nowhere can I find out specifically what caused the salmonella contamination. Okay. But I did find that on December 15th, Quaker Oats announced a recall of certain products due to salmonella contamination. The recall was expanded on January 11th. So that right there is almost 30 days. So you do a recall and then 30 days you have to expand it again. That's where things get weird. Okay.
Right.
And then, according to the recall announcement, the affected products were manufactured in a facility that was later found to be contaminated with salmonella.
From what?
Then the products were shipped to retailers across the US. So this is one of those at all states. So because of this recall, consumers quickly took legal action against Quaker Oats, arguing that the company should have known its products were contaminated with salmonella. And the plaintiffs in the case say Quaker Oats violated consumer protection laws by marketing its products as safe for consumption. Because typically speaking, when a company recalls products and then that batch is done and they restock the shelves, they're saying these products are safe.
Right. Yes.
And
so
so
we've tested it. It passes the smell test, whatever. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when salmonella is found in a facility, okay, that typically means it's on equipment, okay? And we're assuming this equipment gets cleaned. But I really think that these companies should also be testing this equipment. Like, I'm sure there's like a litmus test, like the kind of strips you put in a pool to check, for the presence of bacteria and stuff,
Yeah.
And don't they have any kind of quality control where usually they're testing like pH levels and you know what I mean, to make sure that products are brought to the correct temperature, things of this nature. So I kind of get where consumers are like, the fact that you recalled product and then 30 days, almost 30 days later, you recalled it again, that basically implies that you put out products saying it was safe when in reality it wasn't safe. So I kind of get this lawsuit.
So a quick Googling because I'm like, all right, what causes salmonella? And it's raw or undercooked food. Typically, this is poultry, beef, pork, so meat. Unpasteurized milk and dairy products, eggs from infected birds, but cooking them properly can prevent infection, cross contamination, which is also raw meats and all the things.
Now, I can tell you that the list of products that were recalled, we're talking about the chewy bars, the granola bars. They're the ones that are dipped. They were some with like the yogurt. We're talking their breakfast cereal, their oatmeal squares, like their baked squares.
Yeah.
And there was like the snack packs and stuff.
Yeah. So
nothing, I'm not seeing a single thing that included eggs, maybe milk, and definitely not any meat.
Unpasteurized.
Yeah,
So,
but you would
some
think
of
that they would be bringing in milk that was already pasteurized.
Right, exactly. You don't run around with raw milk in there. And then untreated water and unwashed hands.
So more than likely this was from infected water, which this could be back to our, what was it, Virginia, where they have this naturally occurring water problem, or good old Johnny didn't wash his hands before running the next load of granola bars.
Do you happen to know how many people got sick from this? Because, like, if Johnny done granola barred and, like, infected. Like, ugh. Johnny, why? Why, Johnny? Why? Sorry, I don't know why I went there, but that's where my brain went when with Johnny and his unwashed hands. Jesus.
Yeah.
Cheese and crackers. Just this is a lot of the reason why I don't like big food, because massive corporations like this can have such a far reaching impact in just a small window of opportunity.
Well, here's something to keep in mind. So, when they did the December 15th recall, I just noticed this. So, the majority of the best before dates
Mm-hmm.
were typically August, June, and March. So, that right there tells you that the majority of Quaker Oats products have a shelf life of 3, 6 to 9 months. Okay.
Okay.
But it did not give any information about how many people were sick, what kind of sick, you know what I mean? It just states that, basically when they redid the recall, they added more products to the list, which is probably they then listed all products made at that facility, whereas at first they just recalled a crap ton of them.
Yeah.
But I can't find anything from the FDA's website or anything to kind of state how many people were infected. But it does say that salmonella can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, frail or elderly people, and others with weakened immune system, which when you think about granola bars, a lot of times they are eaten by children.
Yeah.
They are typically eaten by older people because they're, easy to consume snacks. So, and then of course it says healthy persons infected with salmonella often experience fever, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. And in rare circumstances, infection can result in the organism getting into the bloodstream and producing more severe illnesses such as arterial infections, endocarditis, and arthritis.
Yeah.
So it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, but it does not look like they have a final total. So I'm guessing that maybe this class action lawsuit will actually, once it goes to court and you know what I mean, it gets fully done, it'll kind of give the pool of how many people purchase these products and possibly, were affected.
Yeah. No,
So
that makes sense.
let us know down below. Do you think big corporations should be held responsible for recalls due to things like salmonella, E. coli, listeria? Because a lot of those, they appear to be preventable, or at least trackable earlier than how they've been doing it. So let us know your thoughts down below.